काय झालं? आता
We
चालू
have
होतंय.
rewritten history. It was a long time coming, but finally the cricketing god smiled on us. We were waiting for it. We have waited for a long time, and finally it happened. This is going to be a cracker jacker of a segment, and to continue with the celebrations, I want to introduce my co-host Sushant. We also have a familiar guest in Rahul Gupta today, and then there's another guy who is kind of a brother to me, who has idolized Virat Kohli for a long time. So we are welcoming Sahil Javkar from Yoginagar. Welcome, guys.
Hey
Congratulations,
guys,
everyone.
Cheers, guys, on a good win.
Before we start, there's one video that I wanted to show each and everyone. So let's go with it.
रो क्यों रहे हो?
इन लोगों की वजह से आज बहुत वक्त बाद पागलों की तरह खुशी से नाचा हूं। इन लोगों की बदौलत अपने सारे गम भूल गया इस जीत के आगे। इन लोगों की बदौलत कितना लंबा इंतजार किया था इस दिन का, कितनी बार दिल टूटा इस बीच। असली दिवाली तो आज मनेगी इन लोगों की बदौलत।
It's a very emotional video. मैं तो मतलब देख के ऐसा हो गया था कि नहीं यार भाई कंट्रोल करना है. But then I saw Rahul was emotional a bit. ये वीडियो देख के ना मतलब 140 मिलियन लोगों को मतलब ऐसा हो जाता है कि नहीं यार इन लोगों ने बहुत सफर किया है. मतलब the way we've been connected, crazy feeling. I want to know each and everyone's point of view from this कि कैसा लगा यार कल जीत के. I'll take the question first with Sushant.
yeah, it's been more than 12 hours, but it's still very difficult to sink in. यार ये जो feeling है ना, मतलब अलग ही feeling है. ये I think it will still take some time to sink in. ये process नहीं हो रहा है, but one thing for sure, the memories of 19 June has been completely replaced with these memories now of Rohit and Virat and the entire team. So thank you, Team India. And today I am short of words, and I'll like to put on this feelings wala thing to Sahil right now.
I mean, 13 years. 13 years is a long wait. We always were in the position where we felt it's there. But something odd had to come up. But it's been so long that 13 years wait has finally translated with us having that cup, and it's all because of the entire management, the entire bunch of young guys who were excited, and mainly they thrived for lifting that cup. And we saw yesterday, and it's almost, I'm having goosebumps right now, but that's the feeling that the entire nation is having. And we have always been proud to be an Indians, and that's what we strive on. And congratulations to everyone throughout the nation. All up to Rahul now.
I share the same feeling that Sushant has mentioned already, and even Sahil. Completely proud of our team, how they have performed. There were so many times where you will feel that things are not going our way, but then Captain stood up and they did pretty very out of the box things, and they did bring the result out, and made all of the Indians proud. I don't have any specific word to describe that particular moment. It is just so emotional. It's very emotional. I mean, how can I do? Yeah. Now, yes, I think you might be having some thoughts as well, right? So it's it from you now.
यार मैं बोलने जाऊंगा तो बहुत कुछ हो जाएगा. I cannot express my feelings right now because मतलब कैसा है ना, this is podcast and I don't want to speak much about it. मैं बोलूंगा, डेफिनेटली बोलूंगा, बट क्या है ना कि यार बहुत कंट्रोल करके बोलना पड़ेगा बिकॉज कल तो ऐसी हालत हो गई थी, दिल गले तक आ गया था भाई, जान निकल गई थी. और जान ऐसी निकली थी कि मतलब यार फिर वही सारा दुख वापस से झेलना है, उतना ही सफर करना है. बट देन बॉलर्स डिड अमेजिंगली वेल. तो मतलब समरी के थ्रू जाते हैं. बिफोर वी गो टू द समरी, आई वांट सुशांत's पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू.
I think we all are short of words. So there's a clip, guys. I think that clip will completely display our emotions over here. So small clip for you guys.
This little part is called happiness.
this is literally every Indian going to office on Monday. I can tell you that.
अरे
This is literally every Indian.
we all woke up this morning with this feeling. मतलब there is no words. मतलब यार कितना चिल्लाए यार, there is feelings नहीं है. But then there are so many things to cover. So let's move towards the match.
Right. So, from summary point of view, if you see, it was a roller coaster ride. We started off, we had a blistering start. कोहली ने जो चौके मारे, मतलब स्टार्ट ऐसा था कि नहीं यार आज तो कोहली फॉर्म में लग रहा है, विकेट भी साथ देगा. Then our wickets fell. Somehow the cruise was controlled basically by Axar Patel and Kohli. And later on, what happened? We saw how we went on to score 176, majorly because of Virat Kohli and Axar Patel. Shivam Dube finally chipped in, and that was very important. But overall, if you see India's point of view, so 176 was a competitive score. ऐसा लग नहीं रहा था कि यार इससे मतलब यार हम लोग जीत जाएंगे जैसा इंग्लैंड का लगा था. Overall, it felt like yes, this is a competitive score. We have given some total to defend for our bowlers, and it happened. We chipped in with the initial wickets, but then happened the Quinton de Kock and Tristan Stubbs ka partnership. They cruised through the power play. They were ahead. We scored like 42. They scored 43. So overall, the cruising took place from them during power play moments. उसके बाद हुआ अक्षर पटेल का विकेट, which was a very important, and then came Henrik Klaasen. He took away the game, kind of like, मतलब ऐसा था कि दिल तोड़ने ही बैठा था ये बंदा, तो मारते गया, but situations changed, and hopefully कहीं ना कहीं किसी भगवान ने कल सुनी. I especially went to certain temples जहाँ मेरे को जाना था. मैं गया कल और मैंने लिटरली मांगा कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ ये बोला भाई एक बार लिटरली सिर्फ इंडिया को जिता दो, मैं ज्यादा कुछ मांगता नहीं हूँ. और लिटरली आप बिलीव नहीं करोगे, कल जब मैं इंडिया का मैच खत्म हुआ उसके बाद वापस से मैं उसी मंदिर में गया, एंड आई सॉ पीपल दे वर बोइंग हेड्स टू द गॉड्स, बिकॉज ये दिल से कनेक्टेड है यार ये चीज, और वही हुआ. सो बहुत सारा है बोलने को मेरे लिए आज, बट कैसा है कि आई वांट दिस सेगमेंट टू गो कंटिन्यू, and therefore we'll go ahead with the key moments. So one of the key major aspect of this particular game was Virat Kohli's innings. So I want to know from Sahil कि कैसा progress था from Kohli's point of view.
I mean, see, Virat Kohli, we all knew what character he brings in, and especially when doing such clutch matches and big games, we know what Virat Kohli brings on the table. But looking at the way he came into the tournament, we know how heavily he had scored in the IPL and how good that he was as an opening batsman. But the transition about he being an opening batsman of India into the World Cup, when he started, did not click as per what we actually felt. Then as a now we went into the tournament, we always knew Virat Kohli had to click. We always were into that situation. We had to had a moment of Virat Kohli going big. We started with the USA phase where he did not click. We had almost 3 ducks for Virat Kohli, which is very rare and very unusual. But then last night, when the nation wanted it and when our captain failed to click that big innings, it was Mr. King who took up the big stage. The way he started, the way he had the 3 boundaries of the first over from Marco Jansen. I mean, we always knew Virat Kohli against left-armers is a 50-50. But last evening, with the mindset that he came up, having the 3 boundaries, that stage set the tone for India, and that showed the intent and the mentality that we Indians came into the finals with in a knockout match. So that's how we started. The way we lost 3 wickets in the initial, with we losing Rohit, then Rishabh in the same over, and then Surya within the power play, Virat switched gears. The next 37 balls for him was without the boundary, and there were a lot of people around saying, "Is it going too slow? Is this 37 balls going to define us?" But eventually, when we came to the match end scenario, when we all knew it was 2 overs 20 runs, when we knew that the last over had come to 16, everyone was recollecting that 37 balls. If Virat Kohli wasn't standing at that moment, we never know, the score could have been somewhere around 140, 150, or maybe somewhere less than that. And that could have been an easy chase for South Africa. But due to this man standing for that 37 balls, and once he reached 50 from 48 balls, the next 11 balls he scored another 28 runs. So we saw that accelerating pattern also. So eventually, when you see now, we all know if India would have lost, the criticism would have been on Virat Kohli not scoring at a brisk rate, the strike rate not picking up, everything. But today, when we know we have a trophy in hand, and when we see on the board who's going to be the player of the match, we know there's going to be one and one star who has stood not now, not last 1 year, not last 5 years, but since almost a decade now, right from lifting Sachin Tendulkar on his shoulders in the 2011 World Cup to now making sure that Rohit Sharma in his captaincy wins the World Cup and being a player of the match, right? That entire innings showed the pathway about how India in recent times have a very clear intent of being not a defensive team and being attacking it throughout the times. And I just loved, like, being a Virat Kohli fan. I was desperately waiting for this knock. I mean, we were up and running. The emotions were pure when we had that first 3 boundaries. We knew this could be the day. This could be the evening where Virat Kohli lifts the cup. And literally, we had tears in our eyes when the final announcement about he retiring was also done in the press conference. But that's how kings and legends are made up of. He had a best platform to retire. And yes, King Kohli from T20s is done, but King Kohli's in international cricket has still a long way. We love the passion, we love his passion, we love the cricket, and we, as an India, are very proud about having King in our team. And that's how the entire evening was set. And I definitely love Virat Kohli, and he was the player of the match for all of us. And that's how we translated. I could speak for minutes, hours, and hours, but we understand it's a podcast show. We have to move on. And yeah, if anyone or any Yash, Rahul, or Shushank, anyone you have to add, because I purely understand the emotion that everyone associates with Virat.
Do you very well summarize overall.
Mhm.
And I take the question next to Rahul about another important innings, which was of Axar Patel. So, what do you think, Rahul?
I'll start with an argument. I think that could be, like, people would call me madman for that. I don't know. The previous World Cups, wherein we have fallen short in the last final match, okay, we have lacked a player exactly like him. If you see in the middle overs, we did not have the stability. We did not have, either we did not have the batsman who would, score some quick runs. Okay, whenever there was a time in the tournament wherein we needed runs, from the one end, at least from one end. This man stepped up. Whenever he was sent out to bat, he stood up. He scored some runs, out of nowhere. I mean, if he's in the power play, he's hitting. If he's not in the power play, he's still hitting. And not just bounded, he's just hitting sixes. So these, and when I said that, people will call me madman, that was because I was going to compare him to Yuvraj Singh. He's a type of player which we were missing in last two World Cups. And he has clearly shown that he can be, he can fill his shoes. He's still not best, but then he can fill his shoes. That's what I'm saying. And apart from that, in his bowling, like, he has already scored 31, in 31 balls, he has scored 47 runs. But then he has also taken an important wicket of Krishna, who looked so much comfortable. I mean, he was looking so cleanly. So that wicket and that were bowled at that particular time of the innings, it was very important for us. So that is how I will summarize his game. And I think he was on par with Virat Kohli, if not less, in the important quality. That's how it is. Then that's about it. I think then there's this one more player. I mean, I'll ask the question for the next slide as well. Quinton de Kock, that is, he's winning as well. So we can discuss it. I actually wanted to know this from Sushant because I've heard a few things about him in the past. So I'd like to know his feedback on that.
See, Quinton de Kock has been in such situations many a times. And everybody was under impression that if we can get the wicket of Quinton de Kock, we would be having the match in our hands. And the way he began, we could see that he's going to play sheet anchor role, and he was performing really well. He was making sure that Tristan Stubbs is scoring, then others are also performing alongside him. So overall, if you see, so he was the key player for them, and we all knew अगर इसका विकेट आया तो मतलब मैच आ गया kind of. It was a trap that Arshdeep rolled on, and he fell into it. पहला वाला एक six खाया, but उसके बाद he knew what he had to do, and he fell into that trap. So overall, it was a very good performance by our bowlers to set such type of things, and it worked out very well. Coming to another player of South Africa who went on to perform exceedingly well, and he was definitely going to break our hearts, Henry Klaasen. So I would like to know from the data guy. So
Yes, no trap works for Henrik Klaasen, right? We said this in our podcast that this man has the ability to turn the game by himself, and
right,
he was in that destructive mood last evening. I mean, he came to the pitch and it seemed like he has already batted 20 plus overs on this wicket. He just came and started smashing the ball here and there. Like Quinton de Kock, we were so happy when Quinton de Kock got out. But this man, like, he just covered him up and he scored for both of them in no time. I mean, in the image, you can see he scored his half century in 23 balls. And that was
right,
crazy. This is exactly what South Africa needed. And this man was taking the game away from us, and he was not alone. There was David Miller and Klaasen. They both looked destined to take this game away from us. So we have mentioned it over there. Until the 34th ball of 13 over, the equation was like 38 balls, 64 runs. That's what was required, 38-64. And the match was still in the balance. But those last two balls from Kuldeep Yadav went for 4 and 6. And then we had that Axar Patel over, the 15th over from Axar Patel. I mean, Bapu has done everything correct in this World Cup till now. And even in the first inning, he played amazingly well. And I thought that that one over was going to take everything away from him. You see, 4-2-6-6-4-2. 24 runs in 6 balls brought the equation down to 30 runs in 30 balls. I mean, I'll be lying. Uh, I think we all thought that this is a repeat, and so many TV sets would have been closed at that point of time. But then I wouldn't take the suspense away from the next slide, and let's go to Rahul. Jasprit Bumrah over Rahul.
This, yeah, okay. So this, I mean, this started the entire comeback of ours. I mean, just 4 runs out of the 17th over, 16th over, 17th, 16th over, I think. Yeah,
16.
17th over,
Yeah,
18th. Yeah, whatever. So in that over, only 4 runs. It is so special. I mean, how can a bowler do that? I mean, and it's not that he's bowling against a Carrington. No, he's bowling against a set batsman. He's bowling against a batsman who has scored 24 runs of the last
right.
over. That is commendable. I think this sets the tone for a comeback. And after this, the next over, this was bowled by the man who defines comeback basically. So I'll give this slide to Sai. Please, take yours.
Just to add a pun to what Shushank Bhai said, when Klaasen was batting, I was just wondering, is he wearing a mask of Travis Head in Ahmedabad? But that was the feeling which I had when I was just lost. I was like, no, it's not going to happen again. So, but then when Bumrah came, so it was 30 of 30. Bumrah came, he bowled a magical over of 4 runs to a set batsman. And then you have a big long break in an advertisement. People are wondering what's on. But that was the moment where actually Rishabh Pant was kind of injured. We had the physios coming on. We had the wrapping of him on his left leg. And then there was a break of almost 2.5 minutes. And you never know, that would have been a God's plan. But that actually broke the momentum of Henry Klaasen. Pandya comes in, rolling his magical hand, bowls are off cutter outside the off stump, which was an easy ball. Looking at what Travis said, no, not Travis said, Klaasen, what Klaasen was doing. Okay. It was a bread and butter for him. But what happens is he just nicks the ball. The next ball is in the gloves of Rishabh Pant, and we get Klaasen out. The equation has changed. The equation has entirely changed. Even though they have 5 wickets, Marco Johnson coming into bat, but there was another belief. Okay, you could see Virat Kohli's arms like this when that wicket had gone. There was entire another belief within the stadium where we felt, it's that could be the moment. That could be India with slight 5% chance. We all know about how matches on probability have changed in India's favor. The India-Pakistan Melbourne game, the India-Pakistan this US game. We all know how things have changed. But then, yeah, bowling that crucial over, giving only 4 runs, singles, only singles, bowling that off cutter. He had set an entire perfect momentum. 17th over done. Now we knew he had to bowl another over, but coming into this over also he had given 10 runs from the first over. So he knew giving 10 runs is not going to be the job. We had to contain. We had to contain because when he started, it was 26 of 24 balls. He comes into the bowling. He just gives 4. Now we are left 3 overs. We are left. We have Bumrah. We have Arshdeep, and we at that moment we knew Pandey is gonna bowl. We all were confused who's gonna bowl the 19th and the 20th over. So let's come on to the next over. Let's come on to the another Bumrah magical over. I think Shushank Bhai is taking it, right? Shushank Bhai, Yash Bhai, one of two who would love to take this over.
I'll take this. Basically, when Bumrah came in, and this was his last over, so I was pretty sure that they are going to see off this over. Miller, we had a very good over before that, and then Jansen was on the crease along with Miller. It felt like, yes, difficult है, chances हैं कि मतलब शायद कुछ change हो जाए, but we weren't sure कि ऐसा होगा. 4th ball of the over, he cleans him up. Jansen back to pavilion. And then we were like, okay, yes, things are changing. And at that point of time, I felt, yes, Bumrah has done the job once again for India. Many a times he has done, and he did it once again. Not taking the credit from Hardik Pandya for that Henrik Klaasen wicket, but overall, if you see the tide started to change from 16th over when he bowled his first over. Then he came again. He just gave 2 runs. So, कैसा हो गया ना कि Arshdeep had a lot to defend. Arshdeep had a decent amount to defend, and that was showing because Keshav Maharaj आया. Keshav Maharaj ने single लिया last ball पे. And I was like, why is he taking single? Because अगर Miller ज़्यादा strike लेता है, तो chances are कि नहीं यार, they are going to cruise through. In the 19th over, Arshdeep came in. Arshdeep didn't give much runs, and starting with 2 ball dot हुए, उसके बाद फिर he again gave a couple of runs. So ऐसे करते करते कैसा हो गया ना कि overall a path was being set by both Bumrah and Arshdeep for Pandya to take the glory, bring the glory back home. And it was so evident that it felt 16 runs are there, but क्या हम defend कर पाएंगे? Because Miller is still there and he is going to go all guns blazing. So वो जो part of story थी ना, I want to know from any one of you how it happened. But before we do that, there is one clip that changed the entire course of the tournament. Let's go with it.
Oh, the legend.
So
Once more, guys. Once more.
It was crazy, Sushant. It was genuinely crazy.
I mean, just imagine and think Hardik Pandya given the opportunity to bowl the last over. He has gone through a lot. We all know he has gone through a lot in his last 6 months. What feeling he would have gone through? He also told in one of the press interview that he gave, this is God's plan. I was created because see, we never expected Bumrah to finish his spell in the 18th over. Had Klaasen not gone on that 15th over with Axar Patel for 24 runs, definitely Bumrah would have bowled the 19th or the 20th over. Most probably the 19th, we wouldn't have finished. But imagine Arshdeep bowling 19 and 16 left. 16th left, Hardik Pandya with everything that he has gone through, coming up to bowling mark. And the first ball he bowls was outside of full toss. Miller had a batsman hit. Miller could hit more further than that, but that ball did not hit the center of the bat. The ball went in the air. We had millions of Indian hearts. Where is it gonna land? And then you suddenly scream. So because the camera also, look at the camera at that time, it did not have a clear frame. Why? Because you had that side screen. You had that side screen below it. So that catch when Surya came, that catch when you see, but half of the India was celebrating, but half of the India was still नहीं हमको out देखना है पहले out देखना है. And then you see Rohit Sharma was exactly at long off at that time, and he started celebrating because he had a very clear vision about it was a clear catch, but the entire India was awaiting when the third umpire on the mic was saying it has not touched the rope. It has not touched the rope. I think there are 4 angles through which 4 times he said it has not touched the rope. It has not. And when he said the 4th time, it was that crazy match scenes in India where we realized the match is now in our favor, because it was a 50-50 match. Miller has done it over and over, years and years, again and again. But then when we got that first wicket, we had the games in our hand. Then it was 5 balls, 16 runs. And then you see Rabada coming into bat. The first ball, he tries to whack it. You have an edge, and the ball goes to the third man for boundary. And then you start thinking again: is the luck turning? Is it destiny? Is it what are you gonna do? We have now, the equation was 4 balls, 12 runs. The entire nation was on its feet. We were all under immense pressure. Another off cutter by Hardik Pandya. Rabada misses it, and then you have Rishabh Pant trying to take the ball, and he concedes a run. Hardik was
Yeah.
furious, but what blessing in disguise was us was Maharaja wasn't connecting. So we knew Maharaja is on strike. So we knew we had that patch. 3 balls, 11 runs. I think, Rahul, now you could just finish it up for us.
I think you're doing a very good job. I want you to continue now.
No doubt.
These are emotions.
I'm just imagining things, and you're doing it very better. Come on, you can
I
continue.
mean, 3 balls, 11 runs. You have Maharaja on strike. Hardik bowls down the leg. Okay? It flicks his leg. It goes within the circle on the leg side. They scramble up for a single. Now it's 2 balls, 10 runs. You have Hardik coming in, and he bowls like an extremely wide ball. I mean, in dreams, if Prashant Pant would have, who haven't reached yet, I don't know what we would have been discussing about Hardik Pandya right now. I mean, I Rohit Sharma, I saw him clapping just for the Rishabh Pant collecting that ball. I mean, that was the intensity. You come on to 2 balls, 9 runs. You have a slower ball. I don't think it was a pure fast ball. I think it was just a cutter or a slower one onto his off stump, just outside the off stump. Rabada tries to hit it. You have the entire. At the time we realized the ball isn't going for 6. No, India even did not wait for that Surya. The time he mistimed it, and then the time we realized it's not crossing the boundary, the nation was on its feet. Surya takes that catch. It's 1 ball, 8 runs. The new batsman that tries to come in flicks it on the leg side. Ashdeep handles it. And that was the moment where, well, I think all of us had tears at that moment, where we couldn't imagine like 30 of 30 and 1 of 8. I mean, it was pure raw emotions. I think everyone could just step in at this moment, and just let us know about how does it feel to be a part of the glory.
This is
Yeah, the
emotions.
way he,
These are emotions,
the
aren't they? Yeah.
Yes, bhai, if
so
you
the
can just
way
step in.
he
Yes, bhai.
has explained each and every ball, I could literally see,
Exactly,
imagine everything.
which is why I asked him to continue.
It
I just
was
wanted
so
to hear
amazing,
this.
Sahil. I just cannot tell you, each and every ball that we went through, I could actually feel the emotion again. So, Sushant, your thoughts on this?
We are Indians. We are full of emotions. Cricket flows in our blood, and doesn't matter what happens, we follow cricket to the core. And Sahil made us relive those moments, and this isn't the last time we are going to relive these
Exactly.
moments. This is going to be aired again and again. We are going to watch the highlights. We are going to celebrate this because it's been long coming. And the kind of celebrations we are doing it over here, the images, Yashaswa, I saw your handle. You are posting from Ujjain. Sahil posted some images on our group. Rahul was having a fun time with his family. I was celebrating with my daughter. And millions of Indians were doing the same all across the nation, not just in India, but across the planet. And this is occasion indeed called for a celebration. And Sahil
Correct.
explained it beautifully, every ball to the core. And we loved it. We just loved it. And the final moment, something that we have been waiting for the last 13 years. And when it comes to a World Cup for the last 13 years. So the moment that we had been waiting for, let me just share that with you guys.
that walk is gonna stay with
crazy.
me now. I'm gonna do that.
Oh no, that's celebration was prompted by Kuldeep Yadav during this medal ceremony to
Exactly.
Rohit Sharma, and that's a Messi celebration because Kuldeep Yadav is a big Messi fan.
Oh.
I
No,
mean,
it
but
was crazy, right? Kuldeep Yadav being Messi fan, he's prompting a Ronaldo fan to do this thing. I mean, he's a Real Madrid fan. Rohit Sharma is a Real
Yep.
Madrid fan, but he
Yes.
did it. The famous walk, he did it, and he did it perfectly. Amazing.
one thing that we all should have a very special mention is to our captain Rohit Sharma. I mean, the way he led the boys, the way the example, the narrative that he stated for Team India, opening the batting, opening, having an intent. The most important thing which we saw in the Australia match was the intent. Yeah, we always had the thing ki Stark hai, lefty hai, wicket jayega. But that 24, 27 runs of the first over of Mitchell Stark, okay, the way he carried it's just not this World Cup. It's you saw it last year in the 2023 World Cup. Yeah, we won 10 matches in a row. This time we were unbeaten. And if you don't have a powerful leader in terms of when I say
Yep.
powerful, it has to be as a unit powerful. It cannot be a leader who's powerful. The way he's carrying himself and the way he has led Team India to this glory, I think he comes under one of the best captains, not only for India, but someone who has ever played the game. I mean, the true emotions. And now that Rohit and Virat are both out of the Indian cricket team, they have announced their retirement. A huge spaces to fill
40
in.
20. 40
40,
20.
it has to be Virat.
40 20. Yeah.
It was an emotional moment. I mean, the entire last half an hour was kind of emotional in many ways.
To sum it
And
up.
as you said, Sushank, that the celebration was happening across the nation. I saw certain videos from Kashmir, and they were so good to see people coming on streets, Indian flag being unfurled everywhere in Kashmir. It was so emotional and amazing कि नहीं यार यही तो देखना है भाई. This is how cricket unites, and it was amazing, man. We deserved it. The entire nation deserved it. We've waited for so long, and just I mean, क्या बोलूं मैं? मतलब we started this thing. We started this podcast just for India, and we are sitting here celebrating India's victory. Nothing bigger than that. What do you think, Sushant?
Nothing bigger than that. I am so glad we started with this podcast. We were able to connect with our team, with our people, and we have these memories now. I mean, this is going to stay in our archives for years to come. And I'm glad we did this podcast because वो क्या हो रहा था ना, बहुत ज्यादा क्रिकेट हो रहा था हमारे टाइम के कंपैरिजन में. तो बहुत सारे मैचेस थे, तो हमारे से बीच में से ना कहीं से कहीं वो जा रहा था. बट ये मोमेंट्स वापस रिलीव करके वो क्रिकेट के लिए प्यार जब वापस जुड़ता है ना, तब वो पुरानी यादें भी आती है. एंड जैसे हमने यशस्वी पहले भी बात की
सही
थी,
बात है.
आगे जाके हम लोग कोशिश करेंगे क्योंकि देयर इज सो मेनी न्यू जनरेशन ऑफ पीपल हु आर बोर्न इन 2000 एंड आफ्टर दैट, जिनको शायद पुरानी मैचेस नहीं मालूम, पुरानी राइवलरीज नहीं मालूम. We will try to bring up those matches to you, वो highlight उसके बारे में यादें, so that you can see this player. You can see why Virat Kohli was Virat Kohli, why Sachin Tendulkar was Sachin Tendulkar, why Kapil Dev was Kapil Dev. So हम लोग कुछ ऐसे मैचेस आपसे पूछ के आएंगे और ये शो करेंगे. But this World Cup podcast was a true success. And from the bottom of our heart, we would like to thank all our subscribers, all our viewers, everyone who has sent across their messages to us. They have given us their suggestions, they have given us their love. We owe you, and we will try to stay connected with you all as much as possible. But a big thank you from our side. Rahul, any
Thank you.
closing comment from your side?
मैंने ज़्यादा यहाँ पे actually host किया था. It was all you two guys. I mean, who did the hard work. I joined you guys in 2 videos. That is that. Immense thank you to both of you and to the public who has watched, to the audience who has watched our videos and given us our feedback, and we have worked on it. We have tried to improve on it, and we will promise that we will continue doing so. And I'll try to be available as well for all the other videos as well. So that will be our parting thoughts for now. But then let's meet again. Let's host two more videos once again. Yeah. And Sai, from you.
I also, firstly, I want to thank Yash Bhai, Sushank Bhai, and Rahul for letting me this opportunity to be on a JPL platform. Okay? Guys, trust me, these are the 3 pillars behind JPL, and they are doing a job for the service of the society. Matlab, they are pure sport enthusiasts. Okay? There's nothing behind it. It's just a pure passion that they, and this is not
Exactly.
anything. मतलब उन्होंने बोला नहीं है मेरे को बोलने के लिए. It's just a pure. 3 years now, and मेरे को मेरे दिल से बोलना है कि these guys are purely doing it for the enjoyment of the game. It's just that they have passion towards it, and JPL as a platform serves us to be connected to a lot of sports enthusiasts. We have been part of a lot of events that they conduct throughout the year. It's just not football, it's just not cricket, it's the engagement activities. It's they have come up with a new WhatsApp group, say a couple of weeks back, which helps us to gain at least a basic knowledge with regards to stock market. So it's just not sports, it's just not banter, or it's just not say a time pass. It's a way about how do you grow as a person. And these three people being highly educated, you get standards, you get sophisticated, and you don't have that, what do you say, कि नहीं यार ये time pass है क्या? You get something on the table for each one of you. The banter is always there, and these I am the first person to get a lot of warning from these guys, but that's the banter, that's how we laugh. And yeah, I'm gonna ask them to do lot of more shows so that we are activated and there's a lot of engagement. And all the best to you guys, and thank you so much once again for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Sahil, for joining in. There's one thing I wanted to tell you, which you pointed out very clearly. When we started off with JPL, the thing was we wanted to grow as a family. And probably when I see today where we are standing as a JPL family, it has grown leaps and bounds. We have fans from Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Real Madrid. You name clubs, we have fans from across each and every part of the globe. And the way they are connected to each other, you cannot feel. I mean, I'm talking to a Manchester United fan who feels like a brother to me. What better way than this particular?
Sorry.
If there is one thing I would like to say is, even though we are a family of 500, we have made it large, man.
Sorry to cut you. We had an Australian fan also in our group.
Oh, we have two.
So we have two. I know. I knew one.
Before we go, there's another thing I wanted to ask Sushant. Sushant, where did you finish in Dream 11?
Rank number 37.
Oh, that's fine. The manager board you topped it, right?
37 is amazing, man.
Yeah, 37 out of no. That's the world mode. 12 lakhs.
Now.
Ah, okay. So we have two things to celebrate now.
प्रो प्लेयर है अपने साथ जो पॉडकास्ट कर रहा है. मतलब मैं तो ये सब करता नहीं, छोटी मतलब ये सब मेरे लिए तो बहुत बड़ी चीज है. मैं तो बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ. But to see this guy grow, and only because of data analysis. So that is why we've been pointing out how data analysis is very important, and we are going to take this step into our upcoming season of Premier League, wherein in Fantasy Premier League we are going to discuss each and everything about data, how important it is. And we are going to continue this journey of ours, where we are going to bring in our brothers, we are going to have conversations, and we are trying to make a better life out of this thing. We want to spread happiness, we want to spread joy, and hopefully we are going to continue this thing. So thank you each and everyone for following this particular podcast of this particular segment. It's been almost 39 minutes now, and it's been still we have held our thoughts. बहुत सारी चीजें बात करने की थी, बट क्या है कि एक पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे जाके रुकना पड़ता है. And probably this is the time where we say bye, where we say goodbye to the T20 World Cup for now. We will come again, as Sushant said, with something new for our cricketing fans, football fans. Everything is lined up. The day FPL goes live, JPL Talkies comes back again. So looking forward to have you guys once again on this podcast. Thank you everyone for joining. And Chuck the India.
Chuck the India. Just one thing, guys. The top of one peak is just the base of other. So we have reached the top of this World Cup, and there's something new coming up as well. So we will soon connect with you guys. But most importantly, ये पॉडकास्ट का सिर्फ एक ही पर्पस है. हम सब काम पे जाते हैं, या हम सब में से बहुत लोग एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं. We have so many things going on in our life. ये सिर्फ एक कोशिश है आपको आपकी फेवरेट गेम से कनेक्टेड रखने का, और आपको बाकी की दुनिया के पॉलिटिक्स से दूर रख के एक जगह पे आके अपनी ओपिनियंस एक्सप्रेस करने का, जहां पे आप एक खुशी खुशी जा सको. सो इफ वी गाइस कैन मेक यू स्माइल अ बिट, हैप्पी अ बिट, आवर पर्पस इज सर्व्ड. और उसी पर्पस से हमने ये चैनल खोला है, हमारा ग्रुप खोला है. एंड वंस अगेन फ्रॉम ऑल द एडमिन्स एंड साहिल, अ बिग थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ यू. वी विल मीट सून.